Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 642 for the week of Monday, August 25th, 2025. My name is Ryan Higgins. I know I could say my own name. Who else is here this week?
Brock Sager.
And Kevin. And
hello,
possibly.
Everyone.
And possibly.
I'm possibly Lane and Toby. I don't know where the hell they are. Yeah. I'm messaging Toby back and forth, and we're talking about other random nonsense. And then they said, "Hey, are you on tonight? Because you could be on to record because I want to talk about GalaxyCon and Cowl Con." No reply all day. After that, he replied to the thing I said 1 second earlier, and just never replied. And I texted him, no reply. So I don't know where the hell Toby is. Anyway, if he jumps on, he jumps on. If Lynn jumps on, they jump on. Yeah, well, I guess we have other stuff to talk about too. But no, Kevin, I thought this was going to be more convention talk this week, but we'll let you tell us about your adventures. I thought cons were done, and here we are with two more conventions.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have
too local.
I have like a shadow of the content that Toby has because my GalaxyCon adventure was so. For those who aren't local, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. I went Friday for a couple of hours, Sunday for a couple of hours, and that was about it. Whereas somebody else had San Diego level adventures at this thing, which I didn't even think was possible.
Yeah. GalaxyCon's it's a national con. They have a bunch of them, but they came into San Jose here and took over the spot that some of the other conventions used to be at that kind of all flamed out. So it's kind of a big celebrity con, but they do a lot of, there's some comic people there, and there's a decent amount of comic and a lot of voice actors. They'll get William Shatner's been there, and they'll get a couple other, mid-level celebrities to show up. And stuff.
I saw John Cleese, baby.
Yeah.
John
But for San Jose, a pretty big convention. I mean, we haven't had too many of these, and this is now their second year, so it seems like they're doing pretty well.
Well, what you notice is, or what I noticed is, so I'd say the breakdown of that show is maybe, honestly, 50% or 40 to 50% celebs and pro wrestlers, voice actors.
Yeah,
maybe 30% like Makers Faire merch section, pins, and then do the remaining percentage comics folks. And what you notice what I saw walking around is there's a lot of people in line for the celebrities. There's a lot of people like crowding the merch areas to browse and shop. And a lot of the comic creators are just sitting there on their phones, like browsing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that has sort of become the way a lot of comic conventions are.
I don't even know you'd call this a comic convention, right?
Yeah. They're not comic conventions. They're pop culture conventions. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, as long as you know what you're getting into, right? I mean, that is what this is.
One of the guests this year was Mark Waid, who wasn't here last year. And I saw him on the first day, and he's like, "Okay, so tell me, what am I in for?" And I'm like, you could be crazy busy, or you could just feel like you're at home in your living room with nobody, and you have no idea.
Probably every person that mentioned they were going, that was at the shop, said they were going to bring something from Mark Waid.
Well, yeah.
So, people knew he was there,
and he had a big table of merch of books and single issues and stuff, and that was pretty much all gone on Sunday.
No, that's cool.
So at least he had some kind of a run Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think he would have drawn a pretty good audience, but yeah, you never really know how those conventions are going to go because they're so overshadowed by the celebrity stuff. But the complete counter to that was also this weekend was second, third. Cape and Cowl Con.
I believe it's the third. It's only
third.
I read that it was the third, but I was only aware it was the second. So. Take that for what it's worth.
All I know is it happens on a Sunday that I work every single fucking year, and I don't remember to check for it until it starts popping up in my feed on the day of.
Yeah, it's run by our buddy Aiton and Cape and Cowell up in Oakland, and this is a comic book convention. This is an old school, like all local and small press creators and some bigger names. I mean, but it's not like, not like Marvel and DC are there, but it's all creators, some small press companies. And it has definitely grown pretty substantial from a small little local con to within 2 years, 3 years being a pretty sizable independent comic convention for this area.
And it's definitely an indie con. I mean, the big names this year were Jerry Duggan, Rick Remender. It was supposed to be Patton Oswalt, but and like you said, it's people who've done books for Boom and Scout and Image and things like that.
Yeah, I think Vault
Vault had a table there. Silver Sprocket.
I think they co-sponsor it.
Yeah, and Silver Sprocket was there. So last year was at a brewery, and it was super crowded. Last year, this year they had basically double the size guest list, and so I was thinking, like, God, I hope you guys are not putting this in the same place, and they did. It was in a big, spacious, again, a brewery, and out in the parking lot under tents is where they have all the vendors. So the artists are indoors, and then outside, and they had, I gotta say, they had a pretty solid selection of comic book vendors at this show. Ryan, you should have had a table. I mean, I was browsing.
That's what Toby said.
I actually spent money on old back issues, and that's not even something I normally do. I have a very particular want list, but there was just so much comic book stuff. I mean, I'm not comparing it to Heroes or Baltimore or something like that. I'm saying for this show, I was surprised at how good the comic selection was. And then, to compare it to GalaxyCon. So I was talking to my friend who I saw at Cape and Cowl, and he had gone to GalaxyCon on Saturday, and his ticket cost $65 and it cost him $40 to park. And I'm like, good God, you paid $100 for that GalaxyCon? No, just to get in the door.
Just to get in, yeah.
I'm like, that is, I died inside a little bit. And Cape and Cowl Con is totally free, and they just ask that you buy beer or patronize the food trucks or buy the people's books or comics and stuff like that is the way to kind of pay it back. And then so that was, that's all day Sunday. And Saturday night, they had a party at the Cape and Cowl store where it was after hours, and it was basically all the creator, or I don't think everybody was there, but a big chunk of the creators from the show were there at the store, and they had a bar in the store and a food spread in the store. It was just people hanging out in a comic store, having a hangout. So that was super fun as well. And I don't think Toby has any crazy stories. I don't know. Those guys were still there when I left, so I suppose anything could have happened. But we saw Timmy, our friend Timmy, who was in town. He was one of the people signing at the con. And overall, it was just it was really crowded at Cape and Cowl, but it's just a fun kind of chill vibe because there's not anything there. I mean, Rick Remender, Lane can attest to this. He stood in this huge line 2 times to get his book signed. But when I say huge line, compared to something like San Diego, I'm talking about a minuscule line. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm talking about, maybe 50 to 75 people rather than 250 people. So, yeah, I thought they were both had their charms. I mean, GalaxyCon is more what you'd call a quote-unquote real convention just because of the names that were there. And Cape and Cowl's like an old-school show where it would almost be, and I think I'm just blanking on his name, the owner of Cape and Cowl.
Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden. I think he would agree with this. I didn't say it to him when I saw him, but I think he'd agree with this. Cape and Cowl Con almost feels like a COMIX convention from the 1970s, where it's like a bunch of underground cartoonists, and I'm saying that in a good way.
I mean, the difference, and not that one is right or wrong, it's just these are the differences of conventions, is you have the for-profit convention with celebrities, and this is how they make their money, right? The convention is a for-profit convention. They are charging prices to make money. The employees of that company make money. Cape and Cowl is a local small press and friends convention to bring interest of comics to the area, to Oakland, to the Bay Area, as like a celebration of the con, or a celebration of the medium. It's not that one is better or worse or different. It's just these are kind of like the two ends of what most conventions are, right? You get like some fan run stuff, and there's other conventions, but like these are kind of like, I think, the two like kind of real pure conventions. One is very much, this is a place to have celebrities and you spend a shitload of money. San Diego Comic Con is kind of now firmly in that range, and then this is the local cool hangout con, and so,
and then there's also that middle one in between those two, which would be something, again, to bring up Heroes or Terrific Con, where it's comic book. It's a professional con, meaning like a for-profit con, but it's almost entirely comic creators and comic book dealers.
It has outgrown the local convention kind of limitations, but it's still a comic.
It has a tip into pop culture. And that middle one,
not as many of those.
Yeah, that's my sweet spot. That middle one, that's my absolute favorite these days. I mean, obviously the first kind is the kind where I have to work the most, so that may impact this. But as far as like just a hangout con, Cape and Cowl was great.
Yeah. So any cool pickups or interesting things from either? Worth talking about?
So no, I again, I was not really in the at Cape and or at I was about to say Heroes. What the hell is it? Fan Expo. Galaxy. Jesus.
Fan Expo's coming.
Yes, Fan Expo's
in November.
Good old Thanksgiving weekend. No, at Galaxy, I think my entire purchase was one like con sketch.
Random,
and that was it, literally it. Oh, I may have bought like a couple of comic books or something. And Cape and Cowl, like I said, some old back issues, and I've been kind of recollecting nicer copies of those old, if people remember, like people like Craig Anderson's era. Hi, Craig. The old Marvel Fireside books, like Bring on the Bad Guys, Son of Origins, and all those. I've been recollecting those as an adult. The copies I had as a kid, but nicer copies. So I got one of those too. They actually had a booth at Cape and Cowl of somebody selling VHS tapes and laser discs, and that was the entire inventory of this table. Like, wow,
old school.
That is a niche market you're after. I hope you sell enough to have made it worth coming out with all your fans.
VHS and laser disc are back, baby.
I know.
The collector market for those are huge again. That's funny. Yeah, you used to get, you'd see those cool booths. I like those, like at smaller cons, or like the booth of like, we get at like the toy show here in San Jose a lot, where I'm like, it's just oddball stuff. That's cool. I like that. You can't get away with this at a real convention because it's too expensive. You're not going to make any money, but I'll just go out and do it for the love.
Yeah. But anyway, if certain other characters jump on, I know that Lane spent a lot of GalaxyCon, he's kind of rebuilding his signed book collection. Yeah, so I know he basically drives a U-Haul truck worth of books to be signed. And I do not even want to spoil anything about Toby's adventures. I'd rather it would be much better if you just heard it from him. Let's just say I thought there was a level of partying that happens at San Diego every year, and I never would have dreamed that anything close to that would be achieved in freaking San Jose GalaxyCon. Color me surprised.
Well, at 8:13, Toby said he's on his way home and should be home before 8. So,
so he's traveling back in time, everybody. So, he'll be here at the start of the show.
Half an hour ago, he joined this podcast. Yeah. So while we wait for Toby to get home and jump on, I do have a couple other random things to talk about here, but I will do a non-spoiler talk, because I realized actually we meant to talk about this at the end of the last episode, and it just you weren't here, and Brock hasn't seen it, and it just completely slipped my mind. I said we're going to talk about Sandman, and then we just didn't. I was like, okay, good. Kevin's going to be on, so we can talk a little bit about Sandman. And I know Toby hasn't watched it. I do want to talk, no spoilers, but I have watched all of the remainder of Sandman Netflix show, season 2, trying 11 episodes and a special 12 episodes. And how much we had, mostly gushed about season 1 and fears for what was going to end up happening, but hopeful that they were going to be able to pull this off. They did a pretty good job. And then all the stuff with Neil Gaiman happened, and then Sandman got canceled, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we just the entire show just you can do everything else in one season." And so, a lot of that air has been taken out of that balloon. I think people have been pretty not, way to just kill what could have been a really good series of a really good series. And let's just put the Neil Gaiman stuff to the side. I mean, don't even have to talk about it. Just talk about the show as is. You said you watched the first 4 or 5, Kevin, of this season so far.
Yeah,
you're pretty.
As I was saying before we started recording, this is not a comment on the quality of the show. I think it's probably about the same level as season 1, as far as quality goes. It's just more of a case of, again, this is Neil Gaiman aside. This has nothing to do with him. I'm just kind of over Sandman at this point, just because there's been so many, the comic, the Audible book, the Netflix series. I'm good. I just don't need to absorb the same story in so many different formats. It's and especially when my super crush Gwendolyn Christie Lucifer is not in the series anymore after certain points, that really kills my motivation. So anyway, I'm somewhere in the 4 to 5 episode range, I want to say, but fire away.
Well, just the little history for how the book is 10 volumes in its original collected format, and it's obviously collected a little bit differently now. But if you take the original 10 main story arcs, and then if you bring in the Endless Nights, Dream Hunter, Overture, the kind of later stuff, right? There's 13 volumes, which is stuff that was created after the show, after the original comic was ended. And if you want to put Death High Cost of Living, so that's 14, right? They do 2 volumes. Sorry, they do 3 volumes. They do 2.5 volumes. Let's call it 2.5 volumes. In the first season. So they do 12.5 volumes, 11.5 volumes in season 2.
Great.
So this has stories from Dream Country, Season of Mists, A Game of You. They skip entirely. They cut that entire book out. They cut Fables and Reflections out entirely, except for
a few.
One story, except for Orpheus. That's the only part they do.
Oh, they didn't even do the Roman one, August.
No, they cut all that out.
Fuck, that would have been a great episode.
Brief Lives, they do in 2 episodes.
It was a Bryce Briefly.
World's End, they cut out entirely. Kindly Ones, they do in a couple episodes. The Wake, they do in an episode and a half. Endless Nights, Dream Hunter. Or Endless Nights, they kind of touch on elements from it. Dream Hunter and Overture, they cut out entirely. So that's 5 books that they just don't even, they just cut those out, and they just cut those plots out entirely. But you still have 5 books done in 12 episodes, including Death. I mean, you could see the budget's not there comparatively to the first season. The budget's been cut. I won't say significantly, but it's definitely feels less. Some of the changes I don't hate. I mean, do you care about just minor changes from the book spoiler?
I don't know what year it will be on the calendar when I finish watching this. So you go ahead.
Yeah. So Thessaly is cut out entirely. She's not at all. She's not in this book, in the series at all. And she's kind of a major part of Dream Hunter and Kindly Ones and all that. So it's kind of strange that they cut her out. But they really sort of replaced.
They converted John Constantine to the female version.
Well, right. So Joanna Constantine kind of takes over that role and is hanging out. Yeah, so it's like they kind of combine a few characters, which sort of works.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's back in quite a few episodes, which is good. Which I like her. Joanna Constantine's cool. Like, you know, this version of that character is cool. So she's hanging out with the Corinthian and everything. So I mean, in a way, it does stick pretty close to the comic. It just hauls so much ass. And one of the things with Sandman is, you know, all the kind of world building that goes around in the standalone issues is gone. It just doesn't. It's just not there. I thought the first season was so good. I thought they did such a good job matching the tone. They made changes, but it just they hit most of the major beats. It's like the beats all happen, but there's no break. It just goes from major arc to major arc to major arc to major arc, and it's like it happens so quickly that it just doesn't land the same way. It's still well acted. I like most of the characters. I don't dislike it, but what they gave us with that first season, they just can't replicate in season 2. And I think the death special, Time of Her Life, it was good. Like, that was pretty accurate. Again, you know, they make their changes, but it's pretty accurate to the comic. And that was like a cool, like, one-off. Like, okay, they did a good job with that. It's like, where's the rest of those? Where's the rest of those, like, one-off little stories? And that's what makes Sandman so good. All those books were just all the little side stories, all the little flashbacks. All, you know, we talked about how they could do. So you must have seen the one with Titania and so they do that in like half an episode. That could have been like a movie. Like, we were like talking like, oh, this could be like an entire like special, like an hour and a half, like, and they do that in like 20 minutes. It's like you hit the points, you hit the plot, but it just stuff so much of the world building was missing.
You know, the other thing about Sandman the comic that besides the world building, the cool thing about it, especially if you reread it, is the long game, the planting something early on that pays off like 50 issues later. I know. And this is, I know this is weird to say about a 12 episode, 10 episode. I know this is but from what I've seen so far, it feels like a Sandman feature film. And all the fear over the years of like, how are they just going to have to pedal to the metal to do a Sandman feature film? That's what this feels like. It's just like rocketing through. I assume they don't do Ramadan.
No, they literally, he picks up the city.
He picks up the jar
and like puts it down. And you're like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Just don't mention it. Just don't mention it.
Like, that's almost worse.
I was always assuming they'd cut out like brief lives.
Yeah. Well, no. So that's the funny thing, right? They do brief lives. Brief lives is the couple episodes. If you watch them, it's a couple episodes where they're searching for destruction, and they do again a pretty good job of that.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry to interrupt. I meant World's End.
Like a season.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, World's End, yes. World's End, like all the short story stuff, they cut out entirely. Yeah. None of that stuff's in there.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, none of that stuff's in there.
Oh, I knew they were.
The Perez issue?
I just thought maybe. Maybe.
They were never going to do that. I mean, they should have. I wish. That'd be amazing. So Brief Lives should have been a season. And it's just like, they're like, oh yeah, our other brother, Destruction, he's not there. Oh, we should go find him. Oh, there he is. Done. It's just like, it happens so quickly. And that in the comics is like, I mean, it's like a year's worth of stories. It's one of the massive story arcs in that book. It just happens so quickly.
Well,
I don't know.
I think one of the biggest things about like reading Sandman was you had these story arcs, but then you had these like issues that you kind of read it and you stopped, right? Because it gave you a moment to pause and kind of think it over. But
those breaks are not in the show, so the show just feels like it's just hauls ass.
Because that's the thing is I got a little bit of that feeling in season 1 when they were kind of,
and it's better in season 1. They do more of those episodes.
They do more of those episodes,
so they do have those breaks.
They have those breaks, but like the speed with which they got out of Preludes and Nocturnes and straight into Doll's House.
The Doll's House.
Right. And like just how quickly they got to the convention and like it was fine. It was fine.
I thought that they did an okay job, but the death episode is sort of that break.
Well, yeah, the sound of her wings and the hob, right?
I think that's, if you do like one major arc, if you even do like 2 major arcs and then you have like a couple specials per season, you could still get that done in like 3-4 seasons, and that would have things are brought up, like Daniel and Letta Hall, and they're brought up, and then they never come back until their moment, until like the end of moment. There's just no build up to those characters. There's no build up to any of those plots through the show. Game of You, Barbie. They introduced that entire plot in season 1, and they just do not come back to it. That season, that whole story. So for people that watch season 1.
With the dream,
when she's in that magical,
that magical world. That's where Thessaly comes in, which I can easily see them doing Joanna Constantine.
They just never go back. Right? They just never go back. They never show her. Like she's wandering the dreaming, and that's the end. And they never wrap up her story. So it's like, I guess, but it like, yeah, it's just disappointing. Oh no! How many? I don't know. Really? Like 3 of them on this podcast right now.
I have the key to hell tattooed on my back.
I mean, it's not bad, right? I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm just disappointed that we didn't get kind of what I saw in my head, especially after that first season, because I think they did such a good job that first season.
Oh, that first season established kind of the baseline of that whole thought process where Hollywood kept saying, we can't do this. We can't do it all in a movie. Can't do it all in a movie. Oh, it can't be done as a TV show. Can't be done as a TV show. And everyone's sitting there just going, just make it like its own fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's not impossible to translate, because I think they did a pretty decent job. I'll take the 7 out of 10, which is what I think we got. But God, do I want that 10 out of 10? You know, it's not. They claim that it was, always planned for 2 seasons, yada yada yada. I think
so
the game and stuff came out
of a kid in the backseat, little kid going a bullshit.
I think the game and stuff came out a little too late for it to have affected maybe the episode count. They were working on this for a while, before everything happened. So I think it was just doomed because of Netflix. They gave him the runway to finish the show, but I assume just the budget for season 1 way outstripped the return in later viewings. And again, what an absolutely perfect show to do weekly because of all the standalone world building episodes they could have done, where it's like you're left to chew over the plot of the previous big story. You have a couple one-shot episodes, and then you come back for another season. Like the binge model this is just another show murdered by binge. Yeah. 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 I think if you go, let's say it's 75, the specials, let's call it 80 issues worth of 85 issues worth of content between the graphic novels and the specials and stuff like that, right? You break that down even to 30 episodes, right? We got 20, right? Would we get 20, 18, something like that? Just a couple more. I think really just a couple more. Yes, it would have been 20. It would have been 22 total. Yeah, just cut one more season, spread it out a little bit more. No, yeah, at least. Again, it's not bad. Just, you know, I'm fine with the Endless being human and humanish, and most of the, look, a comic book you could do whatever. There is no budget. In a show, yeah, it's a little hard to have scenes with all the fae and all the angels and demons and despair and delirium
and delight. Like how do you show her doing all that stuff?
They don't. Yeah. And she's just a weird goth chick. Yeah. Like she's just death, just odder, like they don't really, she's not delirium. She's fine. But again, it's like, we have to have a human play this role. It's not the comic. So the translation was fine. Right. Like, it's a lot of 7 out of 10s. Everything is like, it's not bad. It's just not just close. Yeah. But they do, and they just shove them into an episode and it's 20 minutes long. And that just doesn't. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm disappointed. I'm happy it happened. I would have liked something
more.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff in the Dreaming, like Merv and Matthew, like the Raven, a lot of like the CG stuff is kind of missing from the second season. They're not in it nearly as much. A lot of those elements, all the elves are human, right? Human with pointy ears. That they're not fantasy looking creatures. They cut out all the stuff in the Dreaming. So yeah, Daniel's fine. It's what's his name? What's the guy's plays Daniel? I forget the actor's name. Jacob Anderson, right? He was in Game of Thrones, and what the hell was he in? Interview with the Vampire. Yeah, the new show. So he's pretty good. I mean, they do a good job, but Daniel is good as anything else in the show. So, but yeah, I wish. I just was wishing for something a little bit different. What are you gonna do? Well,
burn it all to the ground.
Some other. Yeah. I got a couple of random news stories here we can cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of death, not real people, but products dying. We are coming to the end of really the end of an era. Archie Comics is going to basically end their digest line of comics, which have been running for 50, 60 years or something like that, decades and decades. This is so much of this has to do with just the, there's I think just the death of the newsstand, right? It's there's lots of, I do not want to have this conversation. Lane's not here, so we don't have to have the same conversation we had last time. But there are not magazines the way there used to be magazines. There are a lot of like these like kind of like perennial books that are kind of fake magazines. So Archie's long running digest line is basically over. So that's unfortunate. I know a lot of people that was one of the earliest experiences reading comics. I hear that pretty regularly, but they just kind of, I think that's out of time with comics and just the culture and where people read stuff and how people read stuff. And so it does not really surprise me that, doesn't really surprise me that they're killing that line, but what are you gonna do? We also got Batman, Deadpool officially announced the second batch of the Marvel DC Marvel crossover, and I'm trying to scroll here and get the actual list of the books that are in this.
The books.
They're the characters and team ups in this. I am just so confused by both of these books, by both the Marvel and DC versions. I just don't know why. So I just don't know why the stories are the stories that they are. It just I just get it, but
I just read the last one. What? Oh no, sorry, the second to last one.
Well, I'm just not okay. Well, hold on. So the second series here, the Batman Deadpool. This is DC's version of the crossover. We already know Grant Morrison and Dan Mora are doing Batman Deadpool, which is odd to say the least. Grant Morrison and Dan Mora on Batman and 4 for 4. You sold me. Deadpool. Oh, okay. Nightwing and Laura Kinney, also known as X-23. I refuse to call her by her other name. By Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo. I get it because Tom Taylor wrote both those characters, but what?
So they missed a real opportunity there where they could do a kissing cover that X-23 is like known for now and just have Nightwing's ass showing, right?
Yes. Harley Quinn and the Hulk by Mariko Tamaki and Amanda Conner.
Okay, now Mariko Tamaki and Amanda Conner are like, all right, I'm sold a little bit on that, but Hulk?
Huh?
Like,
I just like,
huh?
What? Static Miss Marvel by G. Willow Wilson and Dennis Cohen. It's fine. Like, not for me, but okay, that's fine. Yeah. Constantine and Doctor Strange by Scott Snyder, James Tynion, and Josh Williamson and Halen Sherman. Okay, now that's a crossover. That's yes. Constantine and Doctor Strange. Yes. I don't know what the deal is. Like they're all like co-writing.
Somebody had to write the cigarette.
Yeah.
Like
so that I'm like, okay, like yes, I don't need every Marvel DC crossover to be like the counterparts crossing over, but I don't like get the other ones. But then what's funny is the best covers are all these other covers that they have that are not in the book. So there's The Joker and Doctor Doom by Lou Bermejo. Okay, yes, I'd read that story. Okay. Zatanna and Scarlet Witch by Mark Brooks. Yes, I'd read that story. Okay, Wonder Woman and Cap, we are getting that in the Marvel one. So I'm kind of like, okay, yes, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Batman and Punisher, we've been there, but sure, I'll take that again. Storm and Wonder Woman by Jenny Frison. Yes, where's that story? Right? Damian and Wayne and Gambit, that's kind of a funky one, but okay, whatever. Big Barda and Rogue. Okay, yes, I will take that story. That would be a very fun story. Batman and Wolverine by Jim Lee, of course, classic. Okay, yes, and everyone read that 100 times over. Wonder Woman and Miss Marvel. Again, that makes sense. I like that. I like that team up. That's a cool team up. Okay, Lobo and Deadpool. That's the one that makes sense. Yes, Lobo and Deadpool having a crossover makes 100% sense. They are totally consistent characters. Like, people generally, if they like one, they tend to kind of like the other. So all those make sense to me. Emma Frost and Catwoman, 100%. So like, all that works. The books they're publishing, it's like, what? That's kind of weird. They're going to sell, of course. They're going to sell well, but what an odd. And there's like, there's obviously, there is a second, at least 2 more books, because there are, if nothing else, 2 glaring holes in these crossovers. And that is Superman and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I assume that is coming. So I'm not too concerned. But it's just a little odd that Superman and Spider-Man are just like completely missing from these books. So very weird. I said this when the Marvel DC, a number of years back, I looked at the Marvel and DC, that crossover. They have like the characters on the side, and it's like Tim Drake and what? Oh God, let me pull up the Marvel DC All Access cover. It's like who else is in this? Like Jubilee and who else was on this cover? It's not this one. Let me find it. I got the wrong cover up here. It was like the characters on both sides. Yeah, here we go. It's like Lobo, Superboy, Tim Drake, Aquaman with the hook hand, Captain Marvel, Shazam, right? And then like on the other side, it's like Quicksilver and Namor and Jubilee. I'm like none of those characters would be in like a Marvel DC crossover today. Like they wouldn't be on the front cover. Like the front is Lobo and Wolverine. That just feels like Lobo and Wolverine. I mean, the Batman and Wolverine, I'd understand, but but you forget how big Lobo was at that time. So it is just kind of like such a snapshot of that era. But I don't know, but the snapshot of this era, I'm like, I don't know. I don't like this snapshot. Like, back in Nightwing and X-23, what an odd. They're all probably 10 pages, I'm sure. I think they're oversized issues, right? So they're larger issues. So I think the main story is like a traditional 20 page, and the rest are probably 8 or 10 pages or something. So. Yeah. It's such a weird. I don't know.
I told you one of them has to write the cigarette that John Constantine smoked.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're going to get these little kind of short stories that don't really matter or do anything interesting. All those Marvel DC crossovers used to be like 48 page.
Yeah.
They were chunky, big stories. These are going to be very kind of like. I have completely given up on all these Marvel and DC anthologies they do. Just these like short little 8-pagers, where I'm like, guys, there's just no stories here. Like these are just kind of random nothing.
Well, I think part of the problem is they're writing to an audience that has a shorter and shorter attention span. Honestly, I mean, it's, the days of people sitting there and slogging along to 48 pages of a one shot kind of deal. They're not doing that very much anymore. Like, people's attention spans are not there. So, like, I kind of understand it from a, I guess, social perspective, but at the same time, I'm like, that shouldn't be the barometer for how long it should be. It should just be, hey, you wanted to do, Lobo Deadpool, have fun with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be like, again, not for me, but that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. That is an easier crossover.
If they had done Harley Quinn and She-Hulk,
I could see
right?
that.
Like, I could totally see that, because it's like,
again, they're kind of tonally consistent characters, and it's just this is kind of a fun story. Yeah. I don't really get some of these crossovers. It's such an odd. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you have the team up, and then you have the like the sidekick team up, right? Like a fun backup, right? Like that I can understand, but like when you have Batman, Deadpool, and then a shit ton of backups, it's like, all right, you're gonna do a 10-page book, or how much? I didn't even look. I snagged a DC Connect, so I can tell you how much it is. It's $7.99, 64 pages.
Yeah.
Right. 64 pages. The variant covers for the cardstocks are going to be $8.99. So all of those like variant covers are going to be even more.
Yep. No, that's I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to them, but I'm sort of. I think they're going to be kind of whatever. Not that not that Amalgam or any of those other Marvel and DC books were ever the greatest comic ever, like the later ones, but like they were fun. They were meaty stories. There was a lot more going on to them, and they took them kind of seriously. I have a feeling these are going to be very kind of silly, and I don't know. That's not really what I'm interested in. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah.
Mine is unfortunately a Spawn comic, but
Well, if you like Superman, if you like the movie, look out, because we're going to get that sequel a lot faster than I think people probably assume. About a week ago, James Gunn said that they're already on the schedule now for the sequel. Does not say Superman 2 directly, but the next super movie in the superhero, in the Superman world.
The Eradicator?
Already writing the treatment, already writing dialogue. So the follow-up movie will be extremely soon.
Is this where we get Superman split into blue and red?
Maybe. I don't know. Obviously, Peacemaker's coming out, Lantern's coming out, Supergirl's next year. So, I mean, I would love if they somehow hauled ass, were able to get this out 2027 Christmas or something. I don't know if it's going to be quite that quick, but Yeah, they can go up against Doomsday, and is Doomsday 2027, and is that in Secret Wars? Yeah, I don't remember which is when. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Marvel did this pretty good in the early days. They were cranking those movies out. Keep that interest level up. They're immediately going into the next movie when it's successful. Which is what you want. I don't know what their plan is for Peacemaker after this season. First episode of this season, Peacemaker was pretty I won't say intense, but it was a little more graphic than I was kind of expecting. I was like, okay, this is pretty graphic sex scenes in there, which was just caught me off guard. They don't really do that in the first season, not to this level. But it's good. The first episode was good. We'll see what they go with it. But yeah, this Peacemaker is a very different thing than Superman. But I like the first episode. Speaking of Superman,
didn't you just say this?
Speaking of Superman again, we do have to report on someone passing. Not a comic book person this time, but is someone heavily involved with Superman, and that is Terence Stamp. From many things, but of course, General Zod to us. Did pass away last week at the age of 87. It was like a week and a half ago, I think.
Yep.
It was right after we recorded our last episode.
Got to stop recording episodes.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of other stuff. But for comic book fans, we obviously know him as General Zod. What a great character. Such a good character, they decided to never have any other villain in any Superman movie ever except for Zod. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who the hell was he in Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Really? At the very beginning of the movie? Chancellor Valorum? Is he really? I don't think I ever realized that was Terence Stamp. Well, that's really funny. That's hilarious. How did I not realize that was him? That's really, really funny. I just didn't even think about it. Huh. Chancellor, how did I pull Chancellor Valorum out of my ass? Wow. How do I even remember his name? Whoops. Yeah.
He was in Elektra. He was Stick.
I never saw Elektra.
He was Stick in Elektra.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I never saw Elektra. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Hey,
I know.
Works work. That's all good. He was also in Smallville too.
He was Jor-El, the voice of Jor-El.
Yeah. So they had him do some voice work in that. So that's pretty cool. Keeping that, they had a lot of former Superman people in Smallville, and they did that in Superman and Lois. They've done that in all the shows where they had former people that worked in a bunch of them were in Supergirl that were in Lois and Clark, and I won't talk about Dean Cain, but but everyone else. And that might be perfect timing. Is that Toby? I actually did have this on here. I didn't post it, but I actually do have this on here. You're talking about the Archie movie? Lord and Miller from the Spider-Verse movies are working on a a Archie movie. I don't know, live action. I don't think it's animated. I assume it's live action. I didn't read it either way. I just saw that it was an Archie movie. But maybe more important, written by Tom King. So, comic people, look out! He's working on the Supergirl movie and now an Archie movie. He loves Archie. Yeah. That Archie one shot he did was really fun.
Yeah, it was. I liked it.
He did the one. He did an Archie comic where it basically is it's like everyone in Archie's universe is in there. He it's
not the decision. He flips a coin.
He flips a coin to decide if he's going to be with Archie or with Betty or Veronica, and the coin just bounces away and bounces through Riverdale, and every random person in the city comes out to help him and try to So it's pretty fun. I'm assuming it's not a Riverdale live action movie. So, yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, I watched the first 2 seasons of Riverdale. It is wretched trash, but I at least gave it a shot because I'm like, well, they're trying something, right? Not for me, but it had an audience. Right? It definitely found it on. That show ran for 7 years or something like that, or 8 seasons, something crazy. It ran for a long ass time. Maybe people were just kind of hate watching it at the end, but I tried. I gave that show beyond a fair shot. It is just very trashy and not for me, but good for the people that like that show. I think they could do a real fun kind of teen, a mid, let's say raunchy teen comedy, but I think they could do a fun adventure teen comedy with Archie and Betty and Veronica and all that. And yeah.
You know what I would like them to do? Archie Afterlife.
Yeah. Well, they did the Sabrina show. It has the same problem. We watched the first 2 seasons. We watched the first season. We watched the first season. It wasn't, again, like Riverdale. It's it is okay, but it just was kind of crappy. Tom King's doing that Mr. Miracle series too, that animated Mr. Miracle series, seemingly based off the comic he did. So yeah, we're getting a fucking assload of Tom King stuff in the next couple of years. I can't wait. I hope it's all good.
Is he ready?
I don't know. Is that Toby? Toby?
I felt like the Axis character jumping between different dimensions, trying to find the right podcast number.
What?
I've joined so many. Old
I put the link in the chat.
I joined so many old podcasts. I think I did
the last one. It's the most recent.
I finally got to the right one, but I felt like I was time traveling because
jump into episode 616.
I kept joining the wrong podcast. So oh yeah, that one's already done. That's 2 hours long. That's already done. It's an hour.
It's like Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
That'll be some bonus stuff. You could re-listen to all the old podcasts where I just had a commentary.
Well, at 8:13, you told me you were on your way home and you were going to be home by 8. So there's already some timey-wimey stuff going on. So we figured.
What time is it right now?
It's 9 o'clock.
Oh.
I'm assuming you meant 9, but you said 8. So I was like, well, Toby's going to be on at some point.
No, I was trying to get home, but
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Well, we talked about all our random stuff for the episode. We talked about my pretty minor disappointment in Sandman. We talked about all our special comic stuff. We were waiting for you, Toby.
Oh, wait. You were disappointed in Sandman?
Yeah. Skip back an hour. Skip back 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. More time.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's okay.
Okay. You sad?
It's okay. I just we wouldn't have got another season, so at least they finished it.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that is the Kevin, if you want to put a bow on it, that is sort of the one silver lining is at least they got to finish it, even if it's not what I wanted. So you should finish it. You'll
Okay.
Kevin got a couple episodes in and just
gave up.
Are back on the list.
Fair enough. All right, we don't need to. I'll time travel in a bit and we'll listen to that bit. So I don't want to bore the listeners, the 5 people that listen.
Well, Kevin told his GalaxyCon and Cowl Con stories, but we've been led to believe that you have you have some epic stories. I don't know what you can legally talk about. I don't know how much has to be redacted, but
I'm gonna have to let you guys all down. I had a good time, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah. No, I generally had a really good time. I think some people remember Mervin and Nikki from Paper Lab Studios from last year, where they joined us on the podcast. Yeah, they're fellow listeners and fans of the podcast, and last year Mervin reached out, even came by the store, and then we've been friends ever since. So I've been looking forward to this particular GalaxyCon, and it did not disappoint. We hung out a lot, with other folks, other creators, and it was genuinely a really, really fantastic time. Like, I think I drank like beer with this graffiti artist that was at Artist Alley to and this girl named Ashley till 4 a.m. one night. The other nights, I hung out with Mervin and Nikki till odd hours into the night. It was just a fantastic, phenomenal time. Met some really, really cool creators that I don't really know from that side, from the other side. So it was cool to see him outside of the con. That was really cool. A fellow, meanwhile, collaborator, contributor, Leon Congas was out of a couple of nights. We did a group of us went to 7 Stars, which is a local Campbell Star Wars dive bar, and that did not disappoint either. That was fantastic. We met the owner, we became friends with the owner. He was really cool. Gave us some shirts. I'm gonna rep them like crazy now because I fucking love that place. Just a really, really cool time. We also did a Ninja Turtles outing for the 1990s movie in the theaters, which did really well in the theaters. It was originally only going to be 2 nights, and then they extended it multiple showings and extended to a week. Then I just heard they extended it another week, so I think you could still catch it, which is, by the way, my favorite comic book movie of all time. So if you want to go see that in the theaters, that's please do, because I want that movie to make as much money as possible, even though it's already done. Made $3.3 million in a rerun session. I thought that was pretty cool. And they also announced they're going to do Ninja Turtles 2 in the theaters now, which got me super excited as well.
Go Ninja, go!
Yeah, that one is coming. Which
I love the original. I love both of those first 2 Turtles movies.
I love both of them to death. Ernie Reyes Jr. and the second one was a huge deal for me. And but the first one, the tone, the way they filmed it, the way they played the comedy straight, not haha, look, we're making funnies. I love that movie. Although I have to say, this is the first time I kind of seen it through an adult's eye, and I'm like, boy, this movie is very bizarre if you're a grown-up and the kid wanted to watch it 30 or 35 years ago, aka me, where, it's totally okay to talk to 4 reptilians that know, ninja for some reason, and there's a rat that will talk to you, and it's totally fine to talk to the rat, and there's this crazy, samurai guy that's, raising a bunch of delinquent kids, and not to mention, the hangout where all the kids are, as a kid, I was like, these are all bad guys. So, yeah, fuck them. as an adult, I'm like, you know what? That place is fucking cool. I would have joined the Foot Clan. Like,
yeah, the foot were out of like a youth center or something like.
Oh my god!
That's where they went to recruit them because they were like, yeah, we can get all these delinquent kids that are hanging out at the youth center.
Dude, looking back, I'm like, fuck the Turtles. I would have totally joined the Foot because goddamn, that place is awesome. Like, that's like, fucking everything you want as a kid: skateboarding, guitar, music, arcades, beer. Like, there's beer in the scene. They're all smoking for some reason. I mean, it was just fucking cool.
I remember the scene in Pinocchio. I don't remember how it ends though. I don't remember where they go after that once they go to Pleasure Island. But I'm sure it works out fine for them.
Yeah. Well, it was just interesting to view it from a different angle for once, because I think I always had the kid goggles on, but I still genuinely love that movie, and I love the cinematography. I like how gritty they shot it. I love the music in that movie, and I still think that's my favorite Turtles of all time. It's also how I got introduced to them. Like, that's how I never seen the cartoon, never seen the toys, never seen the comics ahead of that movie. So to me, they're still my prime Turtles, as that's how they should exist. So I had a great time. Mervyn Mickey and Scott and his wife came out for that, so that was awesome. But yeah, made a bunch of new friends, and it was a phenomenal weekend.
You didn't see the cartoon before you saw the movie?
No, that's
okay.
It is. A classmate of mine. This is when we're like 10 or 11 years old, right? I mean, we're in Switzerland still. A classmate of mine goes, "Oh, want to watch a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "My mom will take us because we have to go to the city. There's no theater where we live, right? We're like in a little town. You have to like drive 30 minutes to go to the main city to go to a cinema to watch a movie." So he goes, "Let's watch this thing called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." I have no idea what it was. I'm like, "Whatever, let's go." I mean, I'm sure I'll like it, right? Because, yeah, I had no idea what it was. No idea what I was walking into. Completely blind watch, as in like, going into that one. And the experience of what some people had with the 89 Batman is what I had with the 1990s Ninja Turtle movie. Because I was in the theater going, what is this? So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't really know the comic, but I saw the cartoon, and then when that movie came out, I was like fucking day one, man. Like, I didn't like Turtles. I didn't stick with, but I loved it when it came out. I loved the cartoon and the movies.
Yeah.
And I read a little of the comics later.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, Switzerland, right? You don't get everything. Like,
yeah.
I didn't cartoon till like later.
Probably not till after the movies came out.
Yeah. So it was like some stuff doesn't come in order. So
right.
Like, yeah. So, but that's how we got introduced. And this is pre-internet days, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you look shit up, and if the magazines are not covering it, in the newsstand, you just have no idea what it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We talked some pickups, but I picked up Bob Hall, a couple of art pieces from him. He had like these little squares that he was selling, pre-done art.
You were excited because he had done that original West Coast Avengers stuff.
Yeah, but so I didn't realize he was there before, or that's what Lane says. When I talked to him, he says he's never been here. So, conflicting storylines there, but I got really excited because I too, look, West Coast Avengers was a time where I didn't really pay attention to too many creators. I just liked the book and liked the characters, right? This is like one of these things where later in life I'm like, wait, he did that? I love that thing, right? So I saw his picture post and there was a West Coast Avengers thing behind it. So I looked him up like, holy shit, he was the artist on the original West Coast Avengers. So I got really excited to meet him because, I got him to sign the #1 that I got from Ryan, and then, he had some original art. And I was hoping he would do like a sketch cover for me, but then I never really got a straight answer on his pricing because he had the commission prices out, like full commissions. And I'm like, is it the same price for the sketch covers? And he kind of said yes, but then it didn't really seem so. So I kind of like, well, I don't want to go down that avenue because I can't really afford it. But he had these really cool, like little square pieces that he pre-done on his table. There was a really nice, there was quite a few nice pieces, but there was a really cool She-Hulk. So I picked that up. And then, West Coast Avengers, I really is hoping that, to get a Hawkeye, but he didn't have a Hawkeye on the table. But I saw him like working on another square. I'm like, well, are you taking requests? And again, he said something which I again didn't quite understand what he said. I'm like, so are you? And he goes, yes, that's my answer. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you don't mind, if you want to do because it was like, I think one for $60 and two for $100. I was like, well, I'll take the She-Hulk, and if you don't mind doing a Hawkeye, I would love that, right? So he did. He drew me a little Hawkeye, and I picked up the She-Hulk. That's amazing, and got him to sign the #1 of West Coast Avengers. So I was pretty stoked with that, actually. That was my only art pickup because I'm trying to keep my my things not overboard. I did get Mark Waid to sign the Superman Birthright, which I was really excited about. He was super nice, and that's kind of it from like a fan perspective, I guess. Yeah, I really the con was cool. I did not know that the arcade place had Super Bishi Bashi. They had Super. If I had known they had Super Bishi Bashi, I would have been there all 3 days, complete the entire day playing that thing from morning to night. All right.
What arcade play? Just something. They
have some a whole arcade gaming section down there.
Oh, okay.
There's like an arcade and like board game and a bunch of stuff, like where the Mario Kart tournament was last year.
Sure.
It wasn't really a tournament, which I'm still angry at them about it. But they brought the arcades back out, but this time they had Super Bishibashi, which I didn't really know until the last day when they were cleaning, already like tearing down, and they already unplugged it. I was like, no! Greatest arcade game of all time, man. I would have spent some hours, probably entire days at that place. If I had known. So next year I'm gonna go early and check out and see if they have it. That way I know how to plan my days. So yeah.
Nice. Nice.
The celebrity I really wanted to see happened to cancel, which is not, it's all right.
Who is that?
Freema Agyeman from Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah, the Martha Jones character. Yeah. So I was hoping to get to meet her, but that didn't happen. It's quite all right because a couple of years ago, Charlie got me an autograph, and it was quite an epic autograph. So maybe that best to leave that story as is. So maybe that's a better ending for it. That I'd never meet her, but I would have liked to have met her because I have this Torchwood cast piece that I've been working on. I literally get everyone but her, and she's on there too. So I really wanted to get that finished. That would have been cool. But again, I'm a patient guy, and this is all just for fun in the end. What else happened? There's a couple of things that happen. I'm on reserve for friends only. I'm not going to, nothing bad. Nothing bad.
No.
It's just, it involves certain other people that I'm not sure if they don't want the story to be out there. So I'm
just hanging out too late. Just hanging out and having fun. Hanging out and having fun in the streets of San Jose.
Nothing illegal, nothing bad, but it was just fun. I will say, I went back to the burlesque show again, and that was amazing. I think, I'm going to use words they used is, they want to give you a confused boner, which is probably maybe a part of their mission statement. Because if you want to be entertained by a Jigglypuff, a stripping Jigglypuff, this is the place to go. If you want to see the eye monster from Big Trouble in Little China, which you'll never see anywhere else, this is the place to go. So, I salute them. The entertainers are really fun. They're very talented. Some are dancers, some can sing. They're all fantastic. The host is really, really, really funny. If the host had his own little comedy show, I'll probably just go watch that even. So, and he probably does. He probably does. I should look it up. But he was really funny. It was just a really, really great night. So, yeah, I think GalaxyCon killed it. I just had a great old time. It was cool. It was just really, really cool. I met new friends, met new contacts, had a great old time. I really give Galaxy a plus on that level. Well, I might have had an A+ because of new friends and after hour stuff, as in drinks and dinners. But what I like to meet people. I like to connect people. So from that aspect, it was a fantastic con.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Galaxy being a kind of newer area, newer to here and more celebrity con, you don't expect San Diego level of hangout and partying and stories, but
Yeah. But I think it's because
more
it
than
is not
a,
San Diego. It's a little more. The people are like, how do you say? It's almost like a traveling circus. They know each other already. Like,
yeah.
like they they know each other and they hang out, right? So if you get to be part of that, it's a phenomenal experience. So I want to thank Mervin and Nikki for including me in all of that stuff. So it was fun.
Yeah.
And then we following weekend we have Cape and Cowl Con, which
Yeah.
sure
How was that?
said his piece, but yeah. They had a little pre-party the night before at the shop, which was really cool. It was very interesting to see the stuff he carries, to see all the stuff that Ryan Higgins doesn't order for the store. So, that's always an interesting bit to see.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm fucking digging at you, man. It's all right,
Cape and Cowl, Cape and Cowl's a great store. They're definitely a little more graphic novel, indie heavy. Yeah, than we are.
Yeah. No, you introduced me to Ethan, like what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think at the Eisners or Comic Con.
Probably. Yeah, no, he's a super cool dude. Put a really cool event on for the night before, and then the day of, man. I hats off to him, man. I think he's onto something. Like, I feel like last year I had a really good time. It was a little more condensed, a little more like a smaller venue, but he really expanded it this year. It's like 2 times as big.
Yeah.
It's very opened up. It's in Alameda, and dude, hats off. Like, what it reminds me of is the beginnings of a new ape, like the alternative press expo. Like it really does have that feel to me. Like more indie, more creator owned stuff. And the Marvel and DC stuff is still respected. But it's a little more creator heavy, which I really enjoyed. And having it at a brewery is just kind of like a stroke of genius. Like, have a pint and while you talk comics, and you could buy some comics and get some art is fucking fantastic. Like, I really think he's onto something special here, and I wish him all the success, because it's well deserved, because it's going to be, if this goes at a level it is going right now. Like, I think the size of it was probably perfect as it is now, but like, I really, really like what he's doing with this con. So, I had a great old time.
You got to be careful too, because you can't.
You don't want to go too fast, too big.
Yeah. What I'm saying to Kevin, this is much more a for the locals, for the industry, for the medium, not for profit.
Well,
right?
You don't want to go Fast and Furious and do 10 sequels and then half of them suck ass, right? So,
yeah. Like it wouldn't be the same if this was a big convention. That's not what it is.
It's exactly what he's doing, right? Because I feel like, there's so many big conventions now. Like, to have this small local thing is fucking perfect. Like, I really, really, really enjoyed it. And then the Factions Brewing is just cool. You got this really nice skyline of San Francisco in the backdrop. It was just fucking gorgeous, man. It was dope as hell. I did get my I picked up some books. Went back to Tiana, picked up his book, Never Give Up, which is like a little fighting book. I haven't quite read it yet, but looks fantastic. He once again drew me into it. He drew me getting my face punched in, which I thought was awesome.
What the hell?
Yeah,
it's like a sketch.
Well, it's related to the book, right? The book is all about beating the shit out of each other. Well, at least that's what I got from flipping through it. And he did go, "This is very different than Family Style." I'm like, yeah, I understood, man. I'm like, I just want to fucking, support the guy now. I think he's awesome. Brianna has a book called Raised by Ghosts, which I really, really, really wanted to get. I was hoping to buy it at the show from her directly. She sadly sold out from it.
Who is this?
Brianna. Don't make me say her last name, because I don't have Yeah, she's part of that crew. She's part of that Jean Yang, Tien crew. Yeah, but she has a book called all local people, by the way. I'm pretty sure that we all work at the same school. She was also the moderator for the panel down at Comic-Con, the sports and comic panel that I went to. So she was the moderator when all the folks were on the panel this last year. Yeah. But yeah, I really wanted to pick up her book. Sadly, she sold out, or actually not sadly. Great for her that she sold out. So I thought that was great. She did sign me a little flyer though, and I thought that was kind of cool of her. And what else I pick up? I met the artist who did the Wu-Tang prints for the Wu-Tang concert that I went to, so I thought that was actually kind of cool. So that was a random, I didn't expect the thing to happen. The night before, I met Dave Blanche, I think is his last name, and he was really cool, and we did a book exchange, so I'm looking forward to reading his book. So I gotta give him a shout out. He gave me the Perkins and the Haunt, the Taxi Cab comic, so I wanna give that a good read. And then of course, the big guns is Rick Remender being there, and that line was a very slow moving line. I'm sure Kevin already talked about it. I don't think Kevin stood in line with a friend, but I don't think he actually got anything signed, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. He said he was there, but the line was
he's gone.
Long, not Comic-Con long, but long. So.
It was it was just not long. It was very, very slow moving, which I'm not sure why, because it did seem like he was just signing and things were going. So I'm not sure why it took so long. So maybe that's a Lane story. But when I finally got to him, man, dude, he is one hell of a funny guy. So he's he's in good spirits, but my story goes like this. He goes, "Hey, so here's the deal." I'm like, "Okay, no idea where this is going." He goes, "I'm gonna sign all your stuff." I'm like, "All right." Like, do I have to do like a handstand? Like, where's this going? I literally have no idea. And he goes, "But listen, I also have these bananas right here. They're green bananas and not ripe. They're not ready to go. But he said someone gave them to him, and he doesn't want them to go to waste, and he can't take them with him. So he goes, therefore, I'll sign a banana. I need you to take the banana. I need you to walk away with the banana. And, and at first I was like, you want me to take a banana? Or like, you want me to do an Axel Foley somewhere? He goes, well, if you want to do that, that's up to you. And I'm like, again, where the hell is this headed? But yeah, he just wanted me to take a banana that doesn't go to waste. And so I have assigned Rick Remender banana. And I thought it was one of the more unique things to get signed at a Comic-Con. So
nice.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. It was definitely a really, really funny interaction. So I also picked up the Cape and Cowl exclusive cover for the Grommets, the skateboarding book.
Yeah,
I got him to sign it. Brian was there and the artist was there, so that was awesome. Of course, our friend Timmy was there. Picked up the Archie vs. Mind threads. So go Timmy. It was awesome hanging out with him the night before too. Just overall really good vibes. I had a really good time. I am very, very much looking forward to this one next year. Yeah. I mean, both of these cons I have to block out time for because I just think it's phenomenal. Yeah. So
that's cool. Yeah, no, it's we were saying earlier, very, very different cons, but they both kind of fill the kind of niche of what people are looking for. Kind of at the ends, and it's not Comic-Con, it's not some.
Look, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be San Diego Comic-Con, right? But you can't have all of them be that big, right? There is something about the smaller local ones. There's something about the medium-sized ones. So I appreciate for all of them for what they are, right? Because, GalaxyCon is like a con. I don't want to. That's not how I recommend other people to doing it. But I kind of look at, okay, parking is free now on the streets. I'm gonna roll in now, and I'm gonna have a good old time, right? So, I really like them for completely different reasons. And I think with Comic-Con getting as expensive it is now, like between the hotel, the travel. Just the planning, the logistics, the whole fucking circus of a mess that Comic-Con is. It is very, very refreshing to hey, let me do some laundry this morning and get some shit done. Go, now I'm gonna go to the con and have a good time, for a few hours. I think it's fantastic for that. So I genuinely love both of them, and I'm really, really much looking forward to the both of them next year.
Yeah, it's nice having local options. You don't have to travel, and you can sleep in your own bed, which is always helpful.
Oh yeah, and I have to say, I've always respected the indie. I've always respected indie. The indie is just such a big feel because it's any books. Like, it's like a whole little mini universe of different stories that they have because any creator can do whatever they want, right? So now that I've been following the Gene Yang gang, and I've been appreciating and being a fan of all their books, but I'm slowly been finding all these other things, little artists and little like comics and stuff, and I really really enjoy it. It's not everything is going to speak to you, but when you do, it's something special. So I'm appreciating the indie thing a lot more, I think, than in the past, which, I always liked it. But, sometimes I go through it and I'm just kind of looking for art. I kind of changed my ways now. I'm like actually looking for some cool, interesting stories or small books or, and you're also like buying a story like that's more like, a one book story. Like you're not buying into a series, which I think is also kind of refreshing because a lot of the stories have, a beginning, a middle, and an end. So that's kind of nice too. So I've grown a lot more fond of the independents over the years, more so than I started with. So, a con like this Cape and Cowl one, which is more concentrated on the creators, a little more open to the independent stuff, which, I really thought that was cool. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good options.
Yeah.
All right. That's the end of your cons for the year?
No. There's another mid to big tier coming, Fan Expo in was that November?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's local. I mean, if the local ones are not every fucking week, this one happened just be a week after a week. But I can take a break now.
Yeah.
We're gonna look forward to a Fan Expo, of course. Like, look, it's a local con, right? If they have a lot of stuff that interests me, I'll go longer, like fuller days and longer hours. If they don't have a lot of things that have interest me, maybe I'll go for a day or go for a couple hours, right? That's the beauty of the local.
No, that's good. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah. So no, I'm pretty sure I'll go. But yeah, I'm very very inspired. I have things I want to do, which I always want to do after cons, but it's been a good, very, very inspiring couple of cons. So I really want to, get my sleeves up and, maybe there's some stuff coming down the line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We're going to wrap up now. Thank you, Toby, for coming in, talking about your con. Yeah. Glad you had fun. Brock, thanks for hanging out. Kevin, internet died, or we lost him at some point, but I messaged him. He's okay. He's alive. Internet didn't.
I just decided to
lost connections, but that's okay. We were done anyway. Yeah. He had nothing else to say. We're going to wrap up now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Edward at geekyvillain.com, Joe Duff, Kelsey May, Craig Anderson at the Executive Evolution Podcast, and Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast and DDT Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Check out comicconspiracypodcast.com and Apple Podcasts for all our previous episodes. If you want to kick us a couple bucks, you can go to patreon.com/comicconspiracy. Or you can always go to comicsconspiracy.biz where you can purchase comics and toys. Oh, and cards. Oh, let me tell the story real quick before we leave.
What story is that?
So the real quick card story is we've been doing more TCGs and non-sport cards at the shop. And it's kind of, the last few months we've been trying to get this going a little bit as the market has expanded greatly with those. Well, one of my regulars bought a couple boxes of the Top Star Wars Chrome set that just came out, and we were all there. And we opened some packs with him on Saturday, kind of towards the end of the night, and he pulled what they call in cards a superfractor. That is one of the 1-of-1 cards. So this was he pulled a very, very high end card from the Star Wars Topps Chrome set, a Luke Skywalker. 1975 design. It's like one of those subsets, and it's Luke, right? So it's one of the main characters, and this is the 1-of-1 version. So he's the only card in existence. For comparison, the Han Solo one went on eBay yesterday for $11,000.
Jesus.
So he pulled the Luke Skywalker one. So he was excited, to say the least. So very, very happy for him. And yeah, that was cool.
Naturally, he's going to throw it in a box and never look at it again.
I think it's going to be very good trade fodder for him for some other stuff because he gets a lot of sports cards and he gets a lot of stuff. So I think he's going to be able to exchange that for some things for his PC, as the kids say.
What? For
his personal collection.
Really?
Yeah, that's what kids call their collection of things, their PC.
I guess I'm officially old.
Unfortunately, they do. I don't call it that. But that is internet shorthand. If you see someone referring to their PC, they're probably not talking about their computer because nobody has computers anymore. They're talking about their personal collection, the stuff they keep, not the stuff they flip or sell or trade.
All right. At least they care.
Yeah, Star Wars Superfractor, 101 Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Now we're doing a live podcast when the Avatar, the last Airbender magic cards are coming in. You wanna rip your collector boxes on stream, and if you want, set it up. We'll do it. If you do that, I might even buy 2 boxes of that stuff. That's if you get the allocation, of course.
And don't forget to check out conspiratorbrock.com. It's Brock's website.
Look at that. Like, Ryan didn't commit.
Wanderers of the Fourth Dimension, Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Good news for Doctor Who fans. BBC says Doctor Who's continuing, regardless of whatever happens with Disney. So who's going to continue? Thank God. Hopefully it gets away from Disney. Kevin's interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com and a page I love at Comic Art Live on YouTube. And check out leannehill.com. It's my wife's website. You can go see all her artwork on there.
I'm watching your favorite show of all time, and Billy Piper's in the 2nd season of Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How atrocious is the 2nd season?
Did you even watch it?
No, fuck no. No.
That motherfucker.
No, I will never watch anything Tim Burton's involved with anymore. I am done. I am out. I cannot. Wow. And Wednesday, season 1 was atrocious.
Oh, wow.
Join us on Blue Sky, Ryan Higgins. Hey, if you, Brock Sager's on there. Brock Sager. If you want to talk to Toby on there, Toby XI, he won't reply to you because he probably forgot his password. Kevin is at Kevin Sharp. Can talk to Kevin on there. And we didn't do Geek Box last week. Ryan Scott was sick, so we'll be back next week. We were talking about Superman in the previous episode. Ryan finally saw Superman. He thought it was just okay. What a jerk. What a jerk that Ryan Scott is.
Go, Ryan Scott.
Yeah, it's all right. He can have his funny opinions. He always has weird opinions about stuff.
Yeah, like another Ryan I know.
Yeah. All Ryans have great opinions, except for Ryan Scott. All right, that's it. We're going to wrap up. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next time.